So the name of my play is Letter from a Fallen Cougar. It's about 3 friends, 2 dating younger men, 1 happily married. And things go awry because the happily married one, name is Alex. She's always kind of like, sticking it to her friends about them dating younger guys. And so Kat, who's a little, I like to say, ghetto fabulous, gets her boyfriend, Stro, to introduce her to one of his friends, which is Cannon. Now Cannon has his own thing going on. He was awarded the state, and I think he hates women. He wouldn't say it, but sometimes it comes across that way. So he gets to date Alex and takes her away from her husband and her kids. And as soon as he does, everything flips over. My production company, Rocki Life, came about. I was kind of looking for my niche, praying about my niche. I did the restaurant thing for 5 years. I had 2 restaurants, and I was into fashion for like 15 years. I was a wardrobe specialist, a wardrobe stylist. I was a buyer, and I couldn't find my niche. I just couldn't find it. So I went back to get my degree. I ended up in City College. So I had seen a playwriting class. I said, well, let me take the playwriting class. I had taken the class, and we had to write a play, and the first play was Happy Anniversary. And when the teacher was reading it, his eyes kind of like lit up. And then right then and there, I said, you know what? I'm going to be a playwright. It's like a true story of a young kid. I guess he's from the neighborhood, I really don't know. He comes up to me. I'm very tight with my neighborhood, so I have a closeness with the guys in my neighborhood. So I go inside the cleaners, and he's right up on me. He kind of like startled me. I said, okay, what's going on? And then he looks at me. He said, I have to ask you something. I said, okay, what is it? He said, what would make a mother kill herself? And my heart stopped. I didn't have the answer to it. And I was like, I have no idea. I guess, no one could tell. I have no idea. I didn't know what to tell this kid. So he started crying, and he said, "Why can I talk to you?" I said, "Yeah, of course." So he started telling me how his mom and dad was married for over 40 years, and she met some guy, and he was like 25, and she ended up leaving the family, not wanting to speak to anyone, and she moved down south with this guy, and they got this condo, and they lived together for like 3 years, 4 years, something like that, and then he left her. And by that time, he had like really cleaned out. Like she was broke, family was talking about her, and they weren't speaking. Like her boy, she had 2 sons, and she said me and my brother wasn't speaking to my mom, excuse me, and my dad wasn't speaking to her. So she comes over to see us one night. It was late. I was in the bed sleeping. And she says to me, she kissed me on my forehead, and I was saying, "Mom, please," like he didn't want to be bothered. And she says, "Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. I left you well provided for." He said, I paid it no attention. Wee hours in the morning, the police come to my house, and they were saying that my mom had a bad accident, and she didn't make it. And I knew it wasn't an accident. I didn't tell anybody, and just my dad, and he said, not to say anything. I didn't even tell my brother. So it's just me and my dad's secret, and it's tearing me apart. And I would like to know, I'm searching for answers. Why would my mother choose to take her own life? She couldn't live without him. But how could she have lived without us? And so I nursed it for 1.5 years, and I wrote it, rewrote it, found some other friends that were dating younger guys, going through, a problem. And really it has so many pitfalls. And it's not the same as an older man dating a younger woman. It's not the same. For women who date younger guys, you really have to have a strong foundation knowing who you are. Because for the most part, we'll start looking at, they may go for the younger chick, and So I gotta look younger, I have to act younger. I mean, it's hard, and it's a message within the play. And I just pray to God that at least one person say, you know what? And I'm not saying older women can't date young guys. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying have your head right. Like just make sure it's what you want, and you stay grounded. If anybody should follow anybody, he should follow what you're doing. He should, all that positive aspects that you portray, he should try to imitate instead of you trying to imitate him.